Hello, everybody, and welcome to Virtual Bourbon. We have a fun night tonight. We're going to be trying to find the best American rye under $50. What I want to do first, before we kind of get started, we'll go into a couple things exactly how this works and all that. Let's go ahead and pour our first one. We always like to give a little time to let them sit for just a little bit. So let's pour just A, not all of them. We'll pour A, and then we'll pour each one as right before we start tasting each one. And let's get that one poured. That's step one for tonight's event. And there we go. So what we're doing tonight, this is the first of a three-parter. So this is step one. What we've got 6 different whiskeys tonight. 3 of these will move on to the finale that will happen in November. Then, of course, we'll have part 2 in October, where we have 6 different whiskeys, and 3 of that will go on, and that will comprise then our final 6, which will face off in the big grand finale on sometime in November. I don't know the date off the top of my head, but it is coming up then. But the fun of these events is the fact that we get to go through these. We don't know what they are. We're tasting them blind. It's also kind of a little bit of a bummer too, because tonight and the night in October ends up being very anticlimactic. We know what moves on, but we just know a number. We don't know, what the product is or anything. And we keep that for a specific reason. We don't want to tip off what is going into the finale in any way. So that means that you can't know who's moving on tonight. So you'll just know, A, B, C, D, E, or F. 3 of those are moving on, and that's all that you'll know. And then same thing, that's all they'll know in part 2, and all will be revealed in part 3. We'll go through and talk about who didn't make it, and then we'll talk about ultimately who made it, and then we'll of course establish the top 6 and rank them, which will be pretty cool. So that's the fun part of these. The finale is truly a finale because everything is shared at that point. All I can tell you about these are American Ryes. So these are not anything from out of the country, all American. They are all Ryes, and I'm talking about rye whiskey. So at least 51% rye. There's no like high rye bourbons or anything like that. There's no tricks or in any way. It's all Ryes. They are priced $50 or less. So $50 retail or less. And that just because it's hard to compete against, a regular everyday drinker. It's kind of what we're trying to look for here, an everyday American drinker. So putting it against something that is, a couple $100, I don't think is definitely fair. And it's hard to classify that as, an everyday drinker. So all of that in mind, this is where we're at here. Let's go ahead and try our first one. Our process is going to be the same as we always do with our tastings. We'll go through, we'll talk nosing notes. And because the group is manageable here, we'll each share input as to what our tasting notes is. And we'll do that all the way through A through F. And then what we'll do before we start about ranking them and all that, we'll go back through and we'll nose and taste much higher level. We won't ask everybody for their participation. We'll just go back through and see if there's any differences or anything like that. And then we will have you guys rank them, 1 being your favorite to 6 being your least favorite tonight. And then we have a scoring system, which helps us determine what the top 3 are. All right. Before we get to tasting A, don't forget, let's pour B. Let's get B getting ready for us. So just pour that, but then put it aside, and let's go back to A. Grab A, and let's talk A on the nose. Circus peanuts, anyone?
Yeah.
Man.
I get a spearmint.
Spearmint, okay. Anything else?
Get some like apple.
Apple, okay.
I was thinking apple too.
Apple. Of course, we always like to ask what type of apple. Is it?
Yeah.
Green.
I was thinking
green
fruit.
apple?
Granny Smith.
Granny Smith. Okay. One of the better apples, by the way. Worst is the Red Delicious. Terrible apple. Looks great in the grocery store. They're terrible. They're made to look good on the shelf. I think that's their whole contribution to everything. You buy it into them and they're all mealy and it's just bad.
Yeah. And dry, the worst.
Yeah,
mealy and dry.
Yeah, they are definitely the worst for sure.
Honey Crisp are the best.
Honey Crisp are very good. Yes, you do have to take out a home equity loan if you're going to buy several, but yes. They are pretty pricey. But I do like those. the kind of the pink ladies. If you ever tried those, they're kind of
Those are
the
good.
poor man's version of the Honeycrisp. I feel they're pretty good and a little bit more affordable. All right, I think that's says Scott, but I assume that's Kathy coming in. Oh, and there comes Justine too. We'll wait a second before we start. Let them get caught up here real quick. Hey, Justine.
Hello.
Hello. We're on A. So same thing for you, Kathy. You two both kind of just came in at the exact same time.
Okay.
We've got A. We've kind of gone through the nosing notes. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start because it's a manageable group. We're going to go through and have everyone share their tasting notes. I'll save you two for last. So I'll give you a little bit of time to get caught up. You may want to pour A and B because we've got B poured already as we always work one ahead. So we got B poured. So pour those two. And again, I'll save you two for the end. We'll go through and ask everyone else for tasting notes here. So let's give this thing a taste. Cheers, gang, on the first one of the night. Okay. It's pretty good. Do get some of the apple on the taste, but definitely the circus peanuts is there for me. I don't know because I said that, but it's there. Low spice, short finish, not much there. I would say that's kind of my tasting notes. How about you, Mr. Bill? What do you want to say about this one?
I thought it tasted like a brandy. I mean,
A brandy.
It's
Okay.
sweet and doesn't have any of the rye heat. So
Yeah, not a lot of rye heat going on there. It's definitely sweet. I'll say that. Mr. Murph, what do you think?
Yeah, I like this one. It's very fruity and sweet. I'm getting a little rye heat, but I'm getting it in the middle of the tongue, and I'm getting it toward the end of the taste.
Okay. A little bit of a delayed finish there. Okay. How about you, Barry?
Yeah, I think I get that. Like on the tongue, I get a little bit of the rye heat, but it's very muted. It's sweet. It's low proof for me, and like you, it's got a short finish. It's flavorful. You know, I do enjoy. I'm trying to put my finger on the notes, but I get none of the spearmint on the palate that I did on the nose.
Okay.
It's definitely a citrus or some other fruit that I'm just not able to pick out. But very quick finish.
Okay. All right. John, how about you?
Definitely pick up on the residual sugar, almost like a caramelized sugar that I get to it with the apple. So it like reminds me a lot like a candy apple.
Candy
and then
apple.
really the middle of the mouth feel mainly to the tongue, but also all the way around with just a little bit of the spice to it.
Little bit of spice. All right. Sarah, I know you
What?
look a little busy there. Or you don't know nothing. You can chime in too. It's
No,
If
I
you
was
don't-
a Jolly Rancher kind
Jolly
of
Rancher. Okay.
that like really sweet at first, and then
Yeah.
it had the heat a little bit towards the end.
Okay. I agree. Very surprisingly sweet for sure. Mr. Brenner.
Well, it's sweet. I think it's a lower proof.
Yeah.
I think it's a lower rye percentage than
Yeah, I think that's safe to say.
like an MGP 95.5,
It's definitely not that. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Whereas
And
I
by the way, I do know what they are, but I don't know right now. I as you know, you got your packages a couple weeks ago. I don't remember what's what. My memory's not that long, so I'm kind of going along with you guys tonight. I'm just blind tonight.
Yeah.
So,
I think there's a good amount of corn in this.
yeah, I agree. A lot of corn, almost bourbon like, and these proofs are going to be all over the place too. So that you'll find that we're a little bit all over as we go through these. All right, Melanie, you're next.
I don't have any different tasting notes, but I think it's drinkable. I think it would get lost in a cocktail. I don't think it's real strong.
Yeah, I agree. There's not anything there that stands out to me that would be enough to hold up in a cocktail.
Yeah.
It's almost like you're wasting the whiskey at that point because it's not going to add
It
anything.
definitely does not have the spice that I usually detect in a rye.
Yeah. What about you, Neil?
I think it's more like a high rye bourbon. It's real fruity, but it's got it hits your mid tongue, but then it's got a real dry finish.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. All right. Kathy, hopefully you had some time to go through this and caught up now.
Yeah.
What about you?
I think I am tasting a little bit of the spearmint.
Okay.
None of these are finished, right? Are they all
No, it's all just standard American
straight
ryes.
American rye?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Nothing
There-
to make
There
one
is a
stand out
lot
over
of
the other.
sweet
Yeah.
there, so I was wondering if maybe some of them were finished. But I'll yeah, I kind of do get a little spearmint on the after.
Okay. Fair enough. And last but not least is Justine. Justine, what are your thoughts on this one?
I agree with Sarah. It kind of reminds me of a Jolly Rancher, like a green apple. As a matter of fact, this kind of reminds me of like if you took like Jim Beam apple and maybe added a little bit more bourbon to it, like that's what this is to me.
That's yeah, maybe that was the trick. And I lied the whole time, and that's really what it is. So yeah.
Just Jim Beam apple that you put.
Jim Beam apple, and then I put some bourbon in there, more bourbon. So yeah. I would if you got that right, there'd have to be a prize involved if you were able to pick that up. That'd be pretty cool. All right. Let's pour C. That's not the one we're going to be tasting. We're going to go try B, but we always pour one ahead. So let's pour C, get that one sitting and ready for us. And then we'll start talking B again, starting with nosing notes. This one's much softer on the nose. Less there. But
Yep. Not a whole lot of nose.
no,
Kind of buttery,
kind of buttery. Okay.
like light buttery.
Light buttery. Yeah. There's also a little bit of a sweet bubblegummy nose. Kind of like that bazooka bubblegum.
Bazooka. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It tastes like if you had chewed your bazooka bubblegum, and then after you got all the sweetness out of it, you set it to the side, and the next day you chewed it again.
Yeah. Yeah. Bazooka bubblegum is actually excellent for like 8 seconds. It's actually really good stuff, but it doesn't last at all. I don't, yeah. But yeah, then trying it the next day. Ugh, horrible. It's gotta be a nightmare. All right, let's give this one a taste.
It smells a little young to me.
Mm-hmm. All right. That's interesting, right?
I would
I
say
like this one's a little spicier.
Mm-hmm.
I would say this one's not like a high rye. Like I can taste the corn in this one.
Taste of corn, okay.
Yeah. It's still a little sweet.
Still a little sweet.
Longer finish too.
Longer finish.
Yep.
Kind of focuses on the tongue for me, kind of in that part of the mouth, not necessarily back of the throat or anything like that, but yeah, not a long finish, but a little bit longer than the last one for sure.
Mhm.
Sweet. Also a little bit on the dry side where you talk about more when you're tasting wine, but I'd say this one definitely a little dry. Let's pick on some of the folks here to participate. Who do I start with? Let's start with Murphy. He looks like he's doing the Kentucky chew
Yeah.
there. He's getting us down.
I'm picking up a slight bitter note. This one's, I don't know, it's not got a lot of complexity.
Mm-hmm.
It's just kind of there. It's not very deep.
Yeah. Yeah. Neil, we'll jump to you next.
I like this. It's got just a little spice to it, but I think it's a better finish than the first one. Still a little dry.
Yeah. Back to we'll talk to Melanie next, but kind of to Melanie's previous comment, this one feels like it could hold up in a cocktail to me. It
Yeah.
feels like it's got the components there that would make it stand through, which is so a little bit different experience than the first one for sure.
Yeah, I don't have
Melanie-
any, I'm sorry, I don't have any different tasting notes, but along the cocktail line, I think you could tell that something was in the cocktail, but it still doesn't have a whole lot of flavor.
Yeah. So did you get to hang out with Barry at the Bourbon Festival?
We did. It was great. Thank you, Barry.
Yeah, so much fun. How about that cocktail?
It's delicious.
Amazing. Yes.
Lexington lemonade.
But not just getting to hang out with Barry, but the lovely Tori.
There you go. Now you're talking.
That cocktail would be really, really good for breakfast. That's a good sunrise cocktail.
That was good. Good.
Perfect.
They had the best setup too of all the craft distillers for sure.
Not bad. Cupcakes and yeah.
I may have paid them, $1 or $2. Say that.
Yep.
I worked in the Akley booth for free.
Yes.
Tony was over talking to Barry and I snuck around to get a picture made in the booth.
Yeah. Tony comes back, he says, "Damn it, Neil."
Kicked you out of there. That's good. Yeah. All right, Mr. Bill, what are your thoughts, tasting notes on this one?
Like everybody else has said, it's got more of the rye taste, but still on the sweet side, and a better finish, but not the finish that a good rye should have.
Yeah. Okay. All right, Justine. I don't know, is she locked up?
She's thinking.
Yeah, she's intensely thinking. We're going to give her a moment to think through this one as she ponders. Okay. Let's go up on my screen. Sarah, what are your thoughts on the taste on this one?
There's not much to it.
Yeah.
I don't get a whole lot at any point.
Okay.
Not even, just not really much of anything.
Okay. John?
So again, not a lot of complexity. I would guess it's probably pretty young, but it's very interesting that the finish has concentrated itself right in the middle of my tongue.
Mhm.
And I still get that flavor now. So it's a really long finish, but very centralized to that specific location.
Yeah. Yeah. How about you, Mr. Legend?
Well, I'll agree with that. There's not a lot of complexity to it. If nothing else was around, you could drink this.
Yeah. Can't imagine you ever being in that situation where there's nothing else around.
I know.
Go to your house, you're doing just fine when it comes to bourbon and whiskeys. So yeah. But yeah, sure. If that's all you got, sure. All right. Justine, how about you? We called on you before when you were froze up, by the way. So you had no comment at that point.
Yeah, I still don't have much of a comment. So far I like the first one better.
Okay.
Not getting pulled off.
All right. Kathy, how about you?
I'm right on board with the Robinsons on this. I think you could put this in something, maybe add something to balance out where it's hitting, because it really is central on your tongue.
Yeah.
So whatever alcohol you put in there, maybe it could build on
FYI, the Robinsons just texted me and asked that everyone in the group please call them the Rybinsons for tonight only. The Rybinsons.
Is it the Rybinsons or?
Yeah,
or
for all three of these events, actually, all three of our American
Hall of Famers, the Robinsons.
Yeah, they're our super fan Hall of Fame. They made the ABV Network super fan Hall of Fame.
Famers.
First entrance into that. How about that? How about that? Yeah.
Completely appropriate.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Yeah. Kathy got voted out. She didn't make it.
I don't deserve to be in the inaugural class.
She's
Are you
working.
kidding me?
She's working on it hard though. So she's trying. She's
I
trying.
am.
We'll see. We're reconvening
Maybe
in
year
January.
two. Maybe year two is my
Maybe
year.
year two. Okay. All right, Barry. How about you? What are your?
I'm going to sum up everybody's thoughts, at least, for me, the way that I've interpreted them, but I get some tannic on the finish, and there is some sweetness. It's kind of like drinking lukewarm tea, that's been sweetened a little bit. It's just kind of drying. It's a little sweet, but it's just tannic and the finish is just kind of dry.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's put that one aside. Well, we will come back to it, see if time blesses that one, but we'll see. Sometimes it even changes votes. Bill's been one to say what his vote is early on in one of these and then change it. So you never know. Let's pour D. That one's dark.
Yeah.
That one is dark compared to the other ones. All right. But we're not touching that one right now. We're at C here. C. Kind of hay colored. All right. On the nose.
Hold on.
Kind of a little citrus there.
Yeah, definitely orange citrus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I would say too. Orange.
That's
Kind of sweet too. Like
Yes.
yeah, you get a lot of those drinks nowadays with like that candied orange peel. It's a
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's definitely popular. Yeah. And then what were you saying, Justine? The second part there.
it's kind of sweet. I would like an orange muffin or something like that.
Oh, those Pillsbury orange rolls.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like those. Haven't had those in a long time. I need those. If they still
Love
make
how
them.
we elevate our tastings with things like bazooka and Pillsbury orange rolls. I cannot wait for this tasting.
I have it sketched out. My I put my my graphic arts guy under stress, and I'm writing a book and I'm waiting for the book cover, so I'm not giving him anything else because he's like, I'm so busy at work, and I'm like, just give me the book cover. I don't have anything else going on right now, I promise. In the meantime, I've got all this shit I'm just putting aside and waiting to dump it on. But I'm like, look, I got nothing else, man. Just that book cover. Give me the book cover. We're good. So yeah, but the wheel it's sketched out. All the little things are written in that. So we'll see. Hopefully he's gets on that. Pay him for the book and then give him more assignments. Continuous stress. All right, let's taste this one. Here we go.
I feel like this one offers more.
Yeah.
Whatever, more spice, more something.
Yeah. I'm getting kind of the, I don't know, like orange blossom. I mean, it's kind of orange and kind of florally.
Definitely is floral. Yeah, you're right,
Yeah.
Steve.
Yeah.
It's
And
good.
it does have the spice in there that kind of kicks up again, the kind of delayed fuse. It kind of starts.
And
Again, not a huge overwhelming amount, but there's some spice there.
I think it's got a longer finish than the other two.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this one's definitely more complex and more balanced.
Yeah. Gosh, I wish I wasn't playing along with you guys. I would have looked at the list to see what. This kind of sucks, actually. I want to know. Huh. Interesting. That's good. I like it. All right, let's start with you this time, Barry. What are your thoughts on the tasting notes on this one?
Well, I think that as it develops and lingers on the palate for me, I do get a little bit of that hard candy kind of sweetness, that aftertaste for the finish. But I really love the fruity mid palate, and again, I think it plays closely along with the orange zest, but I do get that hard candy sweetness on the finish. Good. I like it. It's delicious.
Yeah. Yeah. Kathy, how about you? Having dinner?
It's done. Yeah, I know. I walked in the door at 7. This is definitely my favorite so far.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm gonna call Mr. Bill, and say favorite so far.
Okay. All right. Let's go to Bill next to see what he has to say. Bill?
Well, on the nose, I thought that it was pretty young, but it doesn't taste young at all.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
That's very good from Bill, folks. high regard. Matter of fact, a lot of companies will take that and use it in their press release.
They need
Mr. Bill
Penny
says
with
ours is
whiskey.
pretty good. Our whiskey's pretty good. Yeah. So
They
you
need
see.
Penny with whiskey.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. Mr. Brenner,
Oh,
aka the legend.
I think this is probably the most complex out of the three so
Mhm.
far.
Yeah.
It's still sweet. It's got some citrus notes to it. And it's got a nice amount of spice at the end.
Yeah. Yeah. John, how about you?
I agree. By far the best so far that we've had. I really like the complexity to it, and that I'm kind of surprised so far with what we've had with the sweetness that you've been able to pick up on all of them.
Yeah.
That's a little surprise to me. I did not expect that coming
It's
in.
not what we expect with rye, right? We think of spice bombs typically with our rye whiskey. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pick up maybe like a little vanilla here or there. But.
Yeah. I know that's there. Sarah, anything you want to add to that?
No, everyone else pretty hit it. I just don't really like it.
We have polar opposite taste profiles. Hilarious.
Okay. As long as we're not causing any strife in the house, you guys know this going in. It's fine. It's fine. Okay.
It just means
we're
we
good.
buy more bottles.
Okay. Yeah, true. The inventory is up. So yeah. Justine.
Yeah, I agree. This one's more complex than the other two that we had. I kind of get like, definitely still get the citrus, the orange citrus. But I also get like kind of that like menthol-y, like kind of spearmint aftertaste.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. Okay. Neil?
Okay, you know the orange slice candies that are kind of chewy.
They got the sugar on the
with the
outside.
sugar? It tastes like that
Yeah.
after the sugar dissolves.
After the sugar
It's
dissolves.
just a hint of orange.
Yeah.
But I like it. It hits, and it's got a nice finish. It hits just right. I think.
Yeah. That candy you're talking about, it makes a world of difference if you get them fresh versus stale.
Yeah.
Stale, they're
Right.
terrible. If you get those fresh, that's as good as candy as you can get. Actually, those things are delicious, man. But yeah, stale, I don't know. Not something happens taste wise too. Melanie, how about you?
Yeah, I agree with a lot of the comments. Yeah, Bill, like you, and I smelled it. I actually thought it smelled green. But I definitely like this one the best. I think it would be solo or great in an old fashioned.
Yeah. Yeah, this
It is a more typical rye.
right. Yeah, to me, this falls into the sipping category. Hopefully Sarah doesn't hate me. Mr. Murphy.
Yeah, this one's the easiest drinker.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it goes into the mouth easy. I'm not getting much of anything on the tip of the tongue, but once it hits the middle of the tongue, that's when you start getting that sweet and orange, and it does have a longer finish, and that's where the spice comes in. This is I could hurt myself with this one. It's just too easy to drink.
Fall off the porch.
It's a fall off the porch one. Yeah. All right, let's pour E. And let's grab D then. D's the actual one we're going to be talking about. All right. Oh, wow.
Another darkie.
This is bold on the nose. Hot buttered caramel corn. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah,
wowzers.
I can actually smell this one.
Yeah, this one's a,
Butterscotch schnapps.
I like a sweet cigar smell.
yeah, maybe like a sweet cigar. That's there.
Who's your sweets?
Yes.
Yeah,
There you go.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's good on the nose.
This punches you right in the nose with raw dough.
Yep.
Right, dough. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this one's going to be a treat. You don't know until we
Yeah.
try it, though, right? Right.
This has a smoky toast
Mm-hmm.
nose, like it's been finished in a toasted barrel.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. All right, let's give it a taste and see what we think here.
You really nailed it with the Swisher Sweet. That's like drinking a cigar.
That's smoky.
Smoky.
Yeah.
Got a smoky taste to it.
It does. It does have a very smoky taste.
It does.
I got in a wet ashtray.
A wet ashtray. Yeah.
Oh, no,
I don't think this is Melanie's favorite. Our early line here is that's not going to be Melanie's favorite. So
I get a lot of brown sugar on this.
mhm.
Yeah.
Brown sugar. Yeah, that's good. A little jalapeno in there. I'm telling you. Test for it. Make Melanie try another sample. See what she thinks.
This is bold. Yeah.
It is bold. Yes.
I think it could stand up in a cocktail, Steve.
Oh, I think so. I think so. Yeah. No,
This is a cocktail.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it already tastes like a smoked cocktail.
Yeah.
This might stand up without the glass.
I think Melanie would call this the wet ashtray cocktail.
No, it ain't that. No, it's good.
There's
You have to,
a
like, say it- you have to like say it in Spanish or French or something. To make it sound better than that.
Yeah, dress it up a little bit.
The ashtray wit.
Ashtray.
I think there's a great layering of flavors there. There's a lot going
Yeah.
on there. You
I
could
think
There is
this
a lot
one's
going
fun.
you could probably write
I'm a
20
fan.
tasting notes. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's just poll everybody here and ask what notes they got. Mr. Murphy, let's start with you. You went last time. We'll start with you.
Yep. After that nose and Neil hit it right on the head. I get a raw dough, like it just popped open on one
Okay.
of those rolls of biscuit or something. And Melanie hit it on the head on the taste. There's a lot going on, but I don't find much of it very pleasant. It's just this was not doing it for me.
Oh, this is going to
It's,
be this is going to be an interesting
yes.
one to see where this falls on the voting. So it'll be
Smoky tobacco, but not in a good way.
all right. We're going to save Sarah for very last on this one. We're going to see what she thinks. Don't say anything. Don't give us any hints. Yeah, poker face. So we have no idea. You could hate this one. You could love it. I think it's going to be one of those ends of the spectrum. I don't think there's going to be any kind of middle ground with Sarah. I think this is either going to be, I love this. This is absolutely great. Or I think it's absolute crap. So we'll see. We'll see if I'm right. Kathy, you're next.
I think Justine really nailed it. She's like, this is a cocktail,
Mhm.
right? It's turn this into an smoked old fashioned. I think it has its merits. I mean, it is kind of like doing on a cigar,
Yeah,
but a lot of people like cigars.
true. Justine, you weighed in with that. And yeah, anything else you wanted to add as we go around?
Yeah, no, I stick by my smoked cocktail, but I definitely do get like the rye dough, brown sugar. Yeah, I like it. You
Okay.
could literally just add some bitters to it, or like a sugar cube and an orange, and you're good. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Interesting. All right. Neil? We know where Melanie falls. We didn't hear from you though. What do you think?
Every sip I take, at first I didn't like it, but every sip I take of this is different.
Mhm.
And I'm warming up to it. It's kind of like, and I haven't smoked too many cigars, but it's kind of like a cigar that's not real sweet, but like if you were smoking a cigar and drinking bourbon,
Yeah.
kind of leaves you that taste in your mouth,
Yeah.
that combination.
I even get like the old chocolate pudding pops. I mean, that's kind of in there too, which is
It's very,
just-
it's got a lot of flavors. to
yeah, a
it.
lot of different flavors. Melanie, initial response was you absolutely hated it. It tastes like a wet ashtray. So has it evolved in this as we're sitting here?
I mean, the flavor that's still in my mouth is tobacco.
Tobacco.
You know,
Okay.
like I was partying and smoked a cigarette, and then that's all I'm tasting now.
Right.
If I didn't have that, then that flavor after that is like crunchy butterscotch, like real thin homemade butterscotch candy, which
Well,
I do
that
like.
sounds
but
pretty
I
good.
Can't get
That-
past the. Can't
That
get
sounds
past the
pretty good.
ashtray.
Okay. All right. Barry, what about you, man? As you're tasting this one?
Yeah. I think the one thing that I get that hasn't been mentioned is a Tootsie Roll. So a toasted Tootsie Roll.
Oh, there you go.
Maybe I've had a cigar and I'm drinking a smoked rye, but I've also taken a bite of. I'm in Weta Michael's tasting class, and she's giving us small bites as we're drinking a rye, and I've just eaten a smoked Tootsie Roll.
Yeah,
it's a good finish.
Mhm.
okay. All right, Mr. Bill, you like this one or not?
At this point, I don't know. I don't think I do. I mean, I might get used to it in a month or two, but I don't know that I would want to drink it that long.
We don't have that long, Bill.
Yeah, we don't have that long. So, okay. For right now, we got to go with he doesn't like it. So we got to answer with here today. All right.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. It is a 6-sample night. So as we go through the second round, you may love it. So we'll see. All right. The legend.
I like it.
He likes it. Okay.
No, there's some strong tobacco notes to it. Like I said earlier, some brown sugar.
Yeah.
It's got a lot going for it.
Yeah. Is John around there? Is he out for now?
He's bouncing.
Oh, I'm here,
baby. You're out of
bouncing.
frame.
To me, just that smokiness overpowers it
Okay.
too much for me. So I'm not really a big fan because that's not really something that I enjoyed drinking, and I just can't get past it.
Okay. All right. Before we get to Sarah, if you think Sarah's going to like this, raise your hand. Okay. I'm the only one who voted that way. Oh, two. Okay. John said it too. So John and I are in for this. We'll see who's right here. Sarah, what are your thoughts on this one?
No. On the nose, I got a lot of butterscotch.
Okay.
And then tasting it, it just kind of like Melanie said, there was just like this big punch of tobacco. And then you kind of went,
Oh, it's the tobacco spit in it.
sticky tobacco.
Jeez. We gotta taste this a second time. Yeah. Okay.
No, that's a
Okay.
cocktail for me.
It's a weak scotch that wants to be a bourbon.
Oh, well, that is a rye. So that's how confused it is. All right. Let's pour F, which will be the last one we're pouring. Of course, we're going to be tasting E. So pour F, put that aside then, and then grab E. And we will talk about E.
I'm gonna go ahead and be the first one to throw juicy fruit out there.
Juicy fruit.
Juicy fruit. She got it in.
Yeah.
Our streak continues. 317 straight tasting events where juicy fruit was mentioned by someone in our group. So,
Steve, I was thinking when you do the flavor wheel,
yeah.
you ought to get Turner involved in that, because then there'd be a few F-bombs going around.
A few F-bombs.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. It's going to be, I think we'll love it. I think that other people are going to hate it and think we're idiots. Cause I mean, like one of them I put on there, and again, I know it's open to criticism, it tastes like bourbon, which is something that comes up on this.
That's a tasting note.
That's a real tasting note.
It came up tonight. The first thing we drank, you guys were like, that tastes like bourbon.
We have fun and we don't take ourselves that serious.
Exactly. But people will see that and they do take themselves seriously. So
because it should be
got
fun,
it's got stuff like that. Yeah. So yeah. But
So
maybe
I'm
I
getting
can work
like
enough
a
on that.
minty orange.
Yeah, it's definitely different. This one seems like it's going to be good. It's again a lot going on the nose. Doesn't quite jump out as much as the last one, but pretty solid. I mean, that's a real good nose on this one. The last one was just, I mean, that's as strong as a nose on a whiskey as you'll get. That one jumped out of the glass and slapped you in the face and said,
It might have like I said, it might have stood up without the glass.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's taste this one. See where we're at here. Yeah, I mean,
Still kind of orangey.
kind of orangey,
Yeah, it's citrusy,
citrusy,
sweet.
kind of creme brulee too.
Yeah, it's definitely more sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, creme brulee sweet. It's obviously got more sweet on it.
Got a nice finish.
And this is a blind taste, but we're not doing it this way. If I'm telling you, this one I would say is a bourbon. If I drank this, I would guess bourbon. If this event was rye or bourbon, which is it?
Mhm.
Toasted marshmallow.
I would guess bourbon.
Ooh, toasted marshmallow. I
Toasted
heard that.
marshmallow. Yeah.
On the nose, I got old tea, like day old tea.
Mm-hmm.
And Neil got rye bread on that, but yeah, I get toasted marshmallow on
Toasted
the
marshmallow.
palate.
Yeah.
Very thin.
Go ahead. Sorry.
It's very thin, like kind of, I mean, almost like watery. Like
Yeah.
lemon.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
It's not viscous at all.
Yeah,
Not viscous. No, I agree.
not
Definitely.
spicy.
We're not spicy. No. No. All right, Kathy, how about you, taste wise?
Yeah, I'm getting like that orange, almost like a little mint in it. It's definitely sweet. I think it's funny that you guys talk about day old stuff a lot. You're eating day old candy, you're eating day old
Chewing gum.
chewing
Apparently.
gum, you're eating day old everything. You guys need to freshen up your pantry.
Hey,
Wow.
at Easter, when my wife gets Peeps, the first thing she does is open up all the packages and let them sit out in the air for about 3 days. It's stale. That's the way she likes them.
Really?
Yeah.
Likes them still, huh?
Well, at least she knows what she likes.
I was like, hey, whatever turns you on.
My mom likes Peeps, and now she loves the fact that the world is now, because she used to buy extra and hide them throughout the year then, where she could then have Peeps. So now you don't have to, because they make them for every holiday. And
Yeah. Different.
so, yeah. Back when I was a kid, yeah. She would always, I remember when I was a little kid, I guess she couldn't help herself. She was eating some Peeps, and this was getting ready for Easter. And she's like, oh, I guess the Easter bunny stopped by early and dropped off just a couple things of the Peeps, and he'll be back on Easter though. So yeah. And then I guess she just went to the store and bought some more, but yeah.
So I don't care what the wife does because I don't like them stale or fresh. So
Yeah. I'm not really a fan of the Peeps either.
they
Can't
might
get
be,
a
they
peep
might
out
be
of
good if
you,
you
right?
put a torch to them, and caramelize them a little bit.
Maybe, yeah.
Slap
Yeah.
a chocolate bar and a graham cracker on it.
Yeah.
There you go. Now you're talking.
Or at least it'd be satisfying to melt it,
Yeah. Yep. Mr. Murphy, what are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I agree with the folks that said this one's thin. And I
Mhm.
also agree, it doesn't taste like a rye. It's not, and it tastes low proof and just, it's pleasant tasting, but it's not, it's fruity, it's nice, but it's very insubstantial.
Yeah. Yeah. What about you, Barry?
Yeah, I'm going to echo that same thing. I think it's just nondescript, very thin, not a whole lot to really pull out there for me.
Okay. All right. Sarah?
There we go. I got a lot of like jelly beans on the nose.
Okay.
Like couldn't quite define the actual flavor, but just sugar. Like you stuck your head in one of those Jelly Belly containers with all
Yeah.
the flavors in it.
Right.
Or maybe like the white jelly beans. Like what flavor are white jelly beans? Sugar.
Right?
Sugar.
Nope.
Sugar.
Coconut.
Maybe.
Coconut.
Maybe if they're jelly
Coconut,
bellies,
yeah.
but if you get the old fashioned ones, are they really coconut?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't think so. Not with the old school ones.
I mean, it's light. It's not great. It's not bad.
Okay. That's
It's
actually
totally drinkable.
all right. That's good from Sarah. We'll take that. If I own that company, I'm pretty happy right now. That's a good Sarah review. All right. John, how about you?
It is a little bit thin, but I
Mhm.
could see myself. It's a good second neat glass of whiskey for the night, so you didn't want to. You hit the good thing, your good bottle right off the bat, and then maybe you roll into something here.
Right.
But I don't think you could do much to it. I wouldn't want to put it in and mix it or any type of cocktail because it would just totally get.
We'll get lost.
Yeah, I'd get lost. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Mr. Legend?
It's not bad.
Mhm.
It's a little light, a little thin, but I think it'd get lost in a cocktail. I think if nothing else, you could sip on this for a while.
Yeah. Yeah. Mr. Bill?
I don't know if anybody wants to hear what I think. I kind of think it tastes like watered down Listerine.
Yum.
Ooh,
That's
ouch.
the most specific tasting note I have ever heard.
Yeah,
from
I was
Mr.
gonna
Bill.
Watered, who's watered down their Listerine? But I guess it happens. You gotta cut corners, baby. You gotta extend your Listerine. Cut it in half. Yeah. All right. Okay, we'll set that one aside. We will come back to this like we do all the others, but we're gonna end the first round with F. F is the last one. And let's grab F.
You have a roasted peanut.
Roasted peanut. Okay.
You see that?
It's kind of salty too. Like, I don't know, salty roasted peanut.
Salty. Yeah. That's a good note. Yeah.
Peanuts.
Does
Peanut.
Jefferson Ocean make a rye?
No. You think you're getting a little the ocean?
No, it's she was saying salty. So
Oh.
And if they did, it wouldn't be under $50.
True. True. All right, let's give this one a taste.
Ooh.
I mean, it's certainly you got kind of the I guess brown sugar. I was going to say like dark caramel.
Yeah.
I'd say brown sugar is right on.
Coffee.
It does have rye spice to it.
This is the most rye taste.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of the other ones you didn't get what I would say a rye taste to it. Again, bourbon profiles are surprisingly sweet profiles. To me, this is along the more lines of a classic rye taste.
Yeah, I feel like the spice on your tongue is more dispersed,
Mm-hmm.
more around. So
Yeah.
It tastes like a more mature rye too. You know, it's very, very mature, baking spices.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it tastes older. The last one tasted young. This
Mhm.
one definitely tastes older. It's more flavorful.
Yeah. A little better on the mouthfeel too. Last one, kind of watery, thin. This one a little bit more viscous. So yeah, it's good. Neil, anything to add? We heard Melanie chime in there. Anything to add from you?
No, I think the rye, the mature rye is right where it is. I mean, it's good. It's a good
Okay.
rye.
Kathy?
yeah, I'm gonna agree. I think this is definitely more classic rye.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I like it.
I like it. All right, Justine?
Yeah, I agree. I don't have anything else to say.
Okay. All right. The wild card in the group, Sarah. See if we hit one she really likes. We haven't found one that she loves yet. I think this is going to be the one. I feel like this is it. Here we go. I'm
I
going to
do
lock
like
in.
it.
Yeah, there we go.
Not
There
my
we go.
favorite of the group, but I do like it a lot.
Yeah. All
Like,
right.
I get a lot of, like there's a red hot kind of flavor.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Now that you say that,
Not like massive heat intensity, but
yeah. Yep. That's
No.
good. That's good. All right, John, how about you? Is this going to be one you two agree on, or do you just hate this one?
No, this is one that we agree on. Probably my
Oh.
second favorite that we've had so far
Mhm.
tonight. It comes out as that true rye, what I kind of expected to be tasting more of tonight. And
This is what we've been searching for, right? This is kind of, yeah. Well,
it's got that big mouth feel to it. It's got that spice. It carries long into down into the hug a little bit for it. So
yep. Mr. Barry?
Well, I would agree with that. I think that this definitely is a much more developed flavor, mature baking spices, nice finish. I get a lot more proof. I think that this one is probably a fan favorite for me.
Yeah. Yeah. The finish kind of just hangs around too. I mean, I haven't had a drink in a little while here. I can still have that rye spice pinging me across my palate. So
Yeah.
it's nice. Very nice. All right. Mr. Murphy.
Yep, I agree. It's good classic rye. I agree with the cinnamon notes, but I'm getting more of a big red gum than a red hot because it's not quite as sweet as a red hot. So more like that big red on the tail.
Big red. Yeah. There you go. Another one of our favorites. All right, Mr. Bill.
If I didn't know better, I think this was a rye. It tastes just like a rye.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like one of these things is not like the others, but this is the one that most fits what the event is tonight. So last but not least, until we go back and we will do these a second time, with the legend, last to officially weigh in.
Well, I think this has got the highest content of rye in the mash bill.
Mm-hmm.
Of any of them that we've had.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, what we'd like to do next is we'd like to go through these one more time. It won't be calling on everybody, that type of thing. We're just going to go through A through F, and we'll just talk and throw it out there. We'll talk nosing notes and then tasting notes. And there may be nothing to add if we feel like it really hasn't changed. If we do feel like it's evolved, that's what we want to focus in on. Has it changed? And if so, is that better or worse? So that's what we like to do. So let's circle all the way back around to A. Back to A, folks. And let's talk.
Apple's even more prevalent.
Apples. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I get the apples for sure.
I think bubblegum is more prevalent.
Bubblegum.
Definitely on the tongue now. Yeah.
I said circus peanuts. I'll stick to that too.
Well,
that's there, but it does seem to evolve more from the circus peanuts a little bit more into the bubblegum realm for me. And some apple. All right, let's taste this one. Very sweet, light on the palate. A little bit of finish. Anything else anybody wants to note there, taste wise? Feels like,
is it
what
for all that's like a dry erase marker? Is that
is what like a dry erase marker?
Furfural.
Turferol.
Furfural with an F. It's one of those big, comes in the tails there.
Oh.
Not fur for just one, but fur for all.
So you feel like it might have a little bit of tails in there, is what you're saying, Mr. Murphy?
Maybe a hair.
Maybe a hair. Okay. All right. There's that one. Didn't feel like it changed a whole lot. The flavors were all kind of stayed the same. They did evolve a little bit on A. So let's bring up B here. What do we got on B?
Can't smell hardly anything.
Yeah.
Got a real light nose.
Yeah. Kind of getting like Mike and Ike's, more along the lines of the hard candy shell, not than the licorice kind of candy, but that when you smell them, like you open the box and you smell them, you don't smell the licorice as much as you do the shell.
There's a little bit of licorice back there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But like when you open the first box, it's more focused on the shell than you do smell a little bit of that licorice. Yeah, but kind of Mike and Ike's. All right, let's taste it. Is that, or I'm thinking Good and Plenty, actually. I said Mike and Ike's. I meant Good and Plenty is what I was. You guys are so good. You knew what I was talking about, even though I didn't know what I was talking about there, I think. At least you acted like you did. Good and Plenty, yeah. whole lot going on there. Maybe light rye bread. I mean, it's, what did we talk about first time through tasting notes on this one?
Bazooka.
Bazooka. Yeah, it's sweet,
Mhm.
but definitely not a lot there. This is,
After the sweetness of A, this one tasted a little bit more like a rye, but
mhm.
after having everything else,
It's
Yeah.
still falls flat.
yeah.
Yeah, doesn't quite hold up. All right. Let's move on to C. C. Ooh. That's really sweet on the nose.
That's about it.
Yeah.
Still getting kind of an orange.
Yeah. Yeah, this one definitely has the orange. Okay, let's try it.
I'm thinking we need to do like a blind for the best rye that doesn't taste like rye.
Most of these fit into, they could be in that contest, actually. Most of these don't taste like a classic rye other than that last one, I think.
I'll tell you one that would probably win that. Is Boot Hill.
Boot Hill?
Yeah, only because not in a bad way, but their bourbon mash bill is 51 corn, 49 rye. Their rye mash bill is 51 rye, 49 corn. So I'm like, if you put those two in a glass side by side, would you ever be able to tell the difference in between the bourbon and rye?
Yeah, that's a good question. One we
It's
should
like, why you
resolve
do
on
that?
this show. Yeah.
And I mean, they're both great. They're both great whiskeys, but it's like, why?
Yeah. We'll have to do that event sometime. Just those two and see who guesses what. That'd be kind of fun. I don't really have access to Boot Hill. They don't sell it here in Missouri, do they, Rick?
No.
I don't think so.
I got a bottle of both, so you and I can try it. I'll give you a sample and see if you can figure out what.
Hell yeah. Yeah, we'll do a YouTube video. Then you guys can watch us on
There you
YouTube.
go.
Yeah. Last time Rick and I got together for YouTube, how many samples did we drink? And it was all high proof. It was all like 115 or higher. I think 8 samples in like an hour and a half.
Well, no. We did something to your kid, Dave. Are you talking about when we were over at Evan's house?
Evan's house, yeah.
Oh yeah, well that was after I came back from Woodhead too. So
right. Yeah, we got annihilated on that one. It happens though, folks.
Hey, you know.
Mm-hmm. Anything else on C? All right. Let's go to D. Oh, D's the interesting one. So much going on here.
So much butterscotch.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
My gosh, there's a lot happening in that one. That's got everything but your cigar is definitely there. You know, the tobacco. I do get that little bit of a jalapeno there still. I guess I'm alone on that, but I feel like it's there. But changes, anything else? Anybody note there? Sarah's favorite. All right, moving on to E. We got on E. It's solid on the nose. Some sort of caramel cake note. Let's try it. Yeah, I really like that one on the nose. I don't dislike the taste. It's just not enough there. It's not enough oomph. You just want this, whatever proof this one is, it needs to be 10 or 15 points higher.
But wouldn't you say that about most everything?
Not that hazmat that we got. By the way. Bill and I have each got a bottle of Distillery 291's X release that they just put out, and it comes in at like 148.6 proof or something like that. I'm not thinking we're going to drink that one and be like, this needs another 15 points. No.
Then it'd be vodka.
Yeah. Yeah. That's going to be an interesting one, Mr. Bill. You excited about that?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right.
You should have got an extra bottle and did an event with it.
That would have been nice, yeah, to share it. Yeah. I don't know, maybe
And
I'll do
now, and now, like everybody else can only hear us talk about it.
that's true.
Well,
Maybe I'll do a limited offering. I like a 15, you get 24 pours out of it. If I did a limited engagement of 15, maybe we'll see it. That's a good way to do it. All right. Anything else on this one? On E? E is good. I think it's a good drinker, but a little more proof. And last but not least, F. Our first time through on this one, we kind of said it was a classic rye taste. Let's see if that holds up. It's the nose doesn't give you what the taste is going to be. Nose is a little light. Let's try it.
I feel like these didn't change a whole lot the second time around.
Right. Yeah, they stayed consistent.
Yeah.
I don't-
We usually get some changes on the second time around, and this one
It didn't feel like any of them
Tastes the
was
same.
a big marked difference. I don't know. I don't know if that's a rye thing. I mean, we'll have to see if that holds up in our project part 2 to see if those also remain consistent, and if so, maybe we can. What comes out of this too is we put it out there that they don't evolve as much when the air is added to it. So we'll see. We will see after the next one. So, but yeah, I mean, classic taste, that spicy rye, hits you and sticks with you. So that one's a good one. Anything else? Anybody else want to contribute on that one for the record before we get to voting? All right, what I do next, I will give you a couple minutes to work independently where I don't talk, and you rank the 6 here. So you rank 1 to 6, 1 being your favorite of the evening, 6 being your least favorite. And again, just by letter. So if A was your favorite, number 1 would be A. So if B was your second favorite, B would be number 2. So all the way down to 6. And then I will collect those in my spreadsheet, and it will tell us what are the 3 that will move on tonight. So Barry, we've been through all of them a second time. So now we're just going through and working independently. I'm not talking to the group right now. Being very quiet and not saying anything, allowing them to concentrate and do their work, ranking all 6 of these. So that's fun. Again, complete silence allows you guys to work without any distractions. I just remain quiet and I don't talk.
When do you start being quiet?
I'm a professional. I'm a professional. I can speak at a level that you can't hear, but the audience watching the video can hear. At least in my mind, that's what's happening as I'm talking. Are you saying you could hear me the whole time there, Bill?
Yeah.
Oh, well, you were in the
Must
military.
have really sensitive hearing.
You were in the military. You've got some sort of special training, I'm sure. The rest of the group can't hear me talking right now. It's just silent on their end. You can hear it because of your training that you got in the military.
Steve, I never realized that your eyes were so brown.
Oh, Bill, you like
bourbon.
my shenanigans. Yeah, it's the color of bourbon. It's the color of bourbon.
Hey,
That's the color of mine.
For the record, I do not have brown eyes. I have blue eyes. Blue eyes for the record. Yeah. That got weird. That got really weird right there. That's for the record. That's to go on the internet, and that means it lasts forever.
Forever.
Yeah, that'll come
And
back.
a day.
Yeah. When I run for office, that'll be out there. Look at this guy taking his glasses off in the middle of an event, showing everybody his blue eyes. It'll happen.
I still thought they were brown.
No, they're not brown. God's sakes. I don't have a whole lot else going for me, Bill. I got some good blue eyes. That's it. I'm just an old man just trying to make his way in the world of bourbon. All right. Was that enough quiet time?
Yes.
Everybody's got their lists. Okay. I'm going to, again, what's going to happen next is I'm going to go over to the spreadsheet. Means I can't see you guys. So if you're trying to get a hold of me, you can't shoot me direct message or text chat function, anything like that. I won't see it. You can't wave or anything like that. I won't see it. If you need me, you can call out to me. I can hear you, of course. So I pull up the spreadsheet. I'm just going in the order that is on the spreadsheet. And I don't exactly know what order that is. It's whatever Eventbrite tells me. So, okay. First two people aren't here. First one on my list that is here is Justine. So Justine, what's your order here?
I want to go first.
I know you weren't actually first, but you were third, but two people ahead of you did not show up. So it's their fault, not mine.
Okay. F as in Frank.
Okay.
D.
Okay.
A. B as in boy.
Wait a second.
Wait.
F was first. What was second?
D as in dog.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I put down B for
I'm
that.
not in the military. I can't do alpha.
No,
Bravo,
I'm fine. Yeah. Okay. I'm caught up now. So all right. What's your last two?
Last two.
Number five.
C as in cat.
Okay.
And E as in elephant.
Okay. Got it. All right. Now, see here, Mr. Bill does the military thing. I can't follow that. So I just heard yours wrong. So that was my fault, not yours. Mr. Bill, you're next.
Foxtrot, Echo, Charlie, Alpha, Bravo, Delta.
I actually followed that. All right. Let me just make sure my spreadsheet's working. Yes, it's tallying it up. We're good. All right. Not another one, not here. Sarah, you're next.
So do John and I get to do it individually, even though we only have one thing?
Yeah.
All right. So
yeah, because you're so different, we have to split this up. Otherwise, it just wouldn't be right. And I don't need you two fighting about this. So, so Sarah, you're going to be first.
Foxtrot, Echo, is it
Charlie,
Alpha?
Charlie. Oh, Alpha, Charlie.
Charlie, Bravo, Delta. He's over my shoulder.
Charlie, Bravo, Delta. Okay. I'm not that good at that. All right. John, you're next.
Charlie, Foxtrot, Echo, Alpha, Bravo, Delta.
Okay. All right. Well, you guys weren't a little bit of difference there. All right. Neil, you're next.
All right. Foxtrot, Charlie, Alpha, Delta, Bravo, Echo.
Echo. Okay. Melanie.
F, C,
What was the first one? F?
F as in Frank, Foxtrot, whatever. C, Charlie,
Okay.
Delta, Alpha, Bravo, Echo.
Okay. Next up is Kathy.
F, E, D like dog,
Okay.
C like cat, A, B like boy.
Okay. The legend.
F, D, E, C, B, and A.
Okay, Barry.
Okay, Echo, Foxtrot, Delta, Alpha, Charlie, Bravo.
Okay. Did I miss anyone?
You missed Mr. Murphy.
Oh, Mr. Murphy, sorry. Let me type you in there. I don't know why I didn't have you on the thing. All right. Let's see.
He's
here.
dissing you right and left, Mr. Murphy.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't
Yeah.
notice it.
yeah, I kicked him out of the super fan thing. Yeah.
You did.
Okay. That aside, Mr. Murphy, you're next.
All right. Fungus. Chihuahua.
What was the second one?
Chihuahua.
Chihuahua. Okay.
Eggplant.
Okay.
Beelzebub.
All right.
Artichoke. And dinosaur.
Okay.
And dinosaur.
And dinosaur. All right. Does that get everyone? Okay. Let me mark these here. Our top three. Okay. Interesting. All right. Here's where we are. No ties, anything like that. We're in good shape here. So in sixth place, obviously not going to be in the finals, was B. B as in boy. Finished at the bottom. In fifth place, B scored 20 points. In fifth place, with a score of 27 points, was A. A scored 27, will not be in the finals. And this next one is the last one not to make the finals, and that would be D as in dog. 29 points, not enough to make the finals. Now, the next three you will taste again, as they will be part of our finale in November. Coming in with 36 points is E. E, 36 points. In second place with 38 points is C as in Charlie. And finally, with a runaway 58 points, it'll be interesting to see how it does in the finale. Ran away with tonight for sure. 58 points. That's a huge win. Over 20 points separating next closest competitor. 58 points is F. So F makes it. So how about that? Pretty wild. So yeah, it'll be fun. So next time we get together, what happens tonight doesn't actually matter for the ones that make it. We toss those scores aside. It doesn't give it any advantage or anything like that. We will actually taste the final six. So we'll narrow down next month. We'll take six and whittle it down to three, and those three will compete against these three. And then we'll come up with the ultimate winner. And again, it'll be scored based on that night. So sometimes your palate changes a little bit. You evolve, and just because it finished so strong tonight doesn't mean it's a runaway. It's going to have to, get stacked up against the winners from that as well as tonight, and we'll see what happens. Sometimes we've come into the finale. The classic was the first time we ever did one of these projects. Everything finished, exactly the same. Our rankings from number 1 down to number 6 did not change. That's how they were ranked coming into the night. And then other nights, it's like you just throw them against the wall and you get a whole new different result. So it'll be fun to see what happens from here. So there we go. That is step number 1, first event of 3. Our next one, I'll throw it to my assistant, Justine. Do you know when the next one of these is, Justine? As I look it up quickly, in case you're
October 5th.
October 5th. So that's part 2. So hopefully, if you're not signed up already, please do sign up for October 5th. And that is the next one. And then, Justine, when is the finale? If someone happens to be signed up for the first 2 and they're not signed up for the third one, when is that? That's a curveball I just threw her.
I don't know. I don't have those samples that I just looked at. So I have no idea.
Oh,
It's in
okay.
November. I know that much.
It's Monday, November 22nd. Monday, November 22nd. So I believe that's Thanksgiving week. That's the Monday of Thanksgiving. That's the big grand finale. I left myself a little bit of time there. What that allows me to do is get all those second samples. Sometimes the store where I buy them from runs out, I found, and then it stresses me out if it's a tough one to find. Because I got to have it, of course. It's not like I could be like, well, this one, but I substituted this. No, yeah, it doesn't work that way. I gotta figure out where I can get it from. So yes, allow myself a little bit of extra time between 2 and 3. I found was a good thing. Still got to go out and rebuy. And I could rebuy all of my 2 bottles of everything, but that's just.
Then you got 6 that you don't need.
Exactly. I mean, I would drink it, but
Yeah, but
it's not like I'm hurting for drinking.
I was just going to say, like, you need extra bottles,
Right. I'm doing okay. All right. With that, what we'll do next is I will say goodbye. And this is saying goodbye to our folks that are watching this on YouTube. Maybe they missed the event. We had quite a few that couldn't make it tonight for one reason or another. So they're probably following along and watching this. And there may be some that just watch it on the internet just to watch it. But we'll say goodbye to them. I'll turn off the recorder and I'll stick around if you have any questions or anything like that. Just want to talk whiskey. I'll be here. See you. Thank you. Insert applause here.